Welcome everyone, this is Madman bringing you another RSL video. Today we are going to be going over Ultra Nightmare Clan Boss with a budget unkillable team. This particular one is going to feature Geo and Ninja as DPS champions. And we're going to show you, to begin with, the tune here for Void. This should also work for Magic and Force Affinity clan bosses as well on Ultra Nightmare. So first up we have Maneater here, and let's just see, mine is at 240, but I believe, let's see, 239, 238. So 239 is the lower limit, and then somewhere in there, yeah, 244 is the upper limit for the tune. So there we go with the range. Remember, if you've got speed gear or perception or lower steel, anything like that, to add that in there. Painkeeper is next. Mine is at 218, but I believe, okay, 217 does change the tune there. So 218 is kind of the lower limit. And then I want to say quite a bit of ways though. There we go. So from 218 up to 238 is a pretty big range there on Painkeeper. Then Geo, I want to say, is recommended about 175 to 178, but we will see. I think you can go pretty low here. So yeah, we can go all the way down to 163 if we wanted. Up to 178. He does have one speed set and lower steel. Ninja, I know once we go to 160 it does change there. Wow, all the way up to 178. Mine is currently at 163. And then Zargala, which it just happens to be my stun target. So 110 is the lower limit, and I believe 120. Yeah, 120, wow, 119 is the upper limit. So there you go. There are kind of the limits. Now they might change, you know, if you have a little bit faster Maneater, you may not be able to go as fast with Geo or Ninja. Typically, it's nice to hover obviously closer to the lower ends of what you need, so that you know you can get better substats or better stats in general out of the rest of your build. You know, we went, what, 238 with Painkeeper at 218. I could probably get an extra 10 crit damage instead of trying to get that extra 10 speed. So anyway, there's the tune. You can copy this or snapshot it. Two things of note on this particular build. Geo as a DPS, it's not as critical that you leave this on a 4-turn cooldown versus a 3, but his burn skill does have to be on a 4-turn cooldown if you're going to use him as a DPS, because of course when Painkeeper resets skills, she's actually turning those into 3-turn cooldowns, so it works out real nice. If he's the stun target, they got to be on 3 turns for this comp to work as the stun target. Ninja, has got to be fully booked. Well, at least his burn, but I'm pretty sure it's best off to fully book him, maybe not his A1. Anyway, he needs to start with his A3 and put his burn out before the clan boss does his stun. You can play with the speeds and get Ninja to go before Geo here, but it throws it all out of tune because then you're taking an extra A1 turn with Ninja, and that's a turn meter boost. So yeah, it just doesn't work having Ninja throw his burnout before AoE 1 and Geo trying to override it and get all 3 turns with Geo's HP burn. It doesn't work, like I said, because you're taking too many A1s and that's too much of turn meter boost. Anyway, that is the comp and speed tune for the budget Unkillable on Ultra Nightmare, and we will show you the champs and then get into a run. Okay, the first champ here is Ninja. He's just on a lifesteal and speed sets. Doesn't have to be. That's just what I have him in for right now. I do use him in other areas. But his stats, as you can see, 36,000. So I'm trying to keep all my DPSs, Maneater and Painkeeper as well, in the 35,000 to 37,000 range. A little higher for Painkeeper. His attack's 5,200. His defense is a little low, but for Ninja it doesn't matter because what's going to happen is he is going to do his HP burn right before the stun. When he does his HP burn, he puts a veil on, so he will not be the stun target unless all of them are under veil. So his defense is not ultra critical. Like I said, 163 speed, 101 crit rate, 179 crit damage. Was a little higher, but it is what it is right now. And then a speed or accuracy of 233. His skills are fully booked. And as you can see here, like I said, each hit, chance to place an HP burn for 3 turns. Also places a perfect veil buff for 2 turns on this champion. So we don't have to worry about him being a stun target, even against negative affinities. His masteries, just did standard clan boss build down here to War Master because I use them in different areas. Lore of Steel, and went to get the accuracy there. Probably need to turn this off. You don't want any turn meter stuff, but it does work, so I am not too concerned about it right now. You want Life Drinker on them, especially if you don't have sets like Lifesteal on, so that when he does hit, he gets a little bit of healing, so that he'll heal above more than your stun target. Okay, we have Maneater here. He's in a Toxic set and Immortal. It's not even completely rolled up, but we did get to the stats we wanted, between 35 and 37,000 HP for him. You want ideally probably 2,100, but you can go as high as you want on the defense. For Maneater, it's the HP that's more the critical requirement there. Would like to have him some more attack, but he's at 200 attack, 240 speed, which we managed to pull off between Immortal and Toxic. 100% crit rate, 120% crit damage, but we want his accuracy to be the lowest possible. I kind of want him to crit to, get a little harder hits out, but I don't want him to place his skills here. His A1 does decrease attack. We don't want decrease attack on the clan boss, especially with Geo in the mix. But he is fully booked. You don't have to have the damage part of booked. This one, you don't need booked either. But the Unkillable, you do have to have booked with the Unkillable and block debuffs. His masteries, I don't really need them all, but we came down here. to where we have Retribution and Deterrence for counterattack measures, and then kind of a, again, Helm Smasher, or I mean a Warm Bastard, sorry, Clan Boss build with Life Drinker. We don't want any Cyclone Magic or anything else that's going to affect the turn meter on him. So those are his masteries. Okay, Painkeeper here. Speed set, Toxic set. Again, got her in the 35 to 37,000 HP range. Might want a little closer. You could probably bump hers all the way up to about 39. Again, want at least 2,000, but preferably a little bit higher defense. Got her up to 2,300 in attack, 100% crit rate, 150% crit damage, some accuracy, but for her it doesn't matter. She is fully booked, but you don't have to book the damage. The heals, you definitely would like to have this booked, as well as to the cooldown. And her A3 you have to have fully booked as well. She is just a rare, so it's a lot easier to book her. So, I mean, why not just fully book her? But, and then on with her masteries again, kind of same thing, down to War Master, got some Life Drinker. Now, her A1 does have a little bit of turn meter. So in this particular case, we don't want to go with Retribution or Deterrence, because if she counterattacks, she's going to be using that A1. That'll throw off the turn meter. So we just kind of went down the defensive tree there, gave her some defensive stats, and there you go for Painkeeper. Geomancer, as you can see, is my second one, so kind of nice here to have too. But again, broken set other than the speed set. Doesn't really matter on him too much. That 35 to 37,000 HP range. I got more attack on him. Not quite 2,100 defense as I'd like, but it's above 2,000. 177 speed. Over 100% crit rate. Almost 170% crit damage. We definitely want high accuracy. I recommend at least 250. Might be a little bit too high there, but you definitely want his HP burns to land. And those are his stats. Now, my second Geomancer, he's fully booked on his A1. Just kind of got lucky when it comes to the books here. Not quite fully booked here on his A2, and not quite fully booked on his A3. So if you're going to use Geomancer in a budget Unkillable, and you're going to use him as a DPS and not a stun target, you want to book this stuff 4 turn cooldown, not 3 turn cooldown. Like I said, so I got lucky with the books. Didn't want to take a chance of hitting this one just to catch this one, which doesn't really matter. That'll book down, or that'll get turned to a 3 turn cooldown, as well as his Quicksand Grasp there, 3 turn cooldown when Painkeeper does her skills. So every 3 turns it'll be constant, and as you can see, he places the HP burn and a 25% weaken for 3 turns. So we're going to place this at the start of every AoE 1. I'm using him as a DPS champion. That way I don't have to worry about any affinities as far as Geo is concerned. I can run Geo and Ninja as a DPS, or I could run another DPS with Geo, and then I can pick my stun targets based on what affinity clan boss I'm facing and not have to change out Geo's gear. Since I have 2 of them, it's a lot easier for me that way. If you want to use him as the DPS champion in the budget Unkillable, then you need to fully book them. Anyway, his masteries here, again, standard clan boss to war master with life drinker build. And we just went down to get some accuracy. Lore steel to help us place that HP burn. Not that it matters for Master Hexer to extend it. Well, I mean, it might extend it, but it's not really that big deal since it's on a 3-turn cooldown anyway. And Ninja's going to override it. And then just Sniper to increase the chance of placing it. So any little bit that helps. So that is Geomancer. So Gala here is our slow boy stun target. She's in a little bit of perception and crit damage set. Doesn't have to be. The big thing really is her stats. Not ascended. Just a level 55 star champion. But that's all I need her to be for the slow boy stun target. Her total stats, again, we're in that 39,000 to 40,500 HP range. You know, you can give her more attack if you want, crit damage, crit rate, whoever you're going to choose to be your stun target. She is well below the 1500 defense, so that's definitely very helpful there. 112, so she is our slow boy stun target in that 110 to 120 speed range. And I'd like to see a little more accuracy on her, but 205 will just have to do. Her skills, the big one here, and this is why it may not hurt to ascend her, but then I'd have to play around with her gear and stats again, because ascended 3 times of potentially getting decreased defense up for 2 turns versus 2 times. She has weak affinity against spirit, but for the rest of the clan bosses, it would be very helpful to get the decreased defense. That helps Ninja out, but unbooked on any of her skills, so we could get a little more damage there and get weakened as well, even though Geo puts it out. Extra chance there of putting it out if he just happens to miss on the weaken there. Then masteries, no masteries. So nice simple build for Zargala. Again, those speeds are for Ultra Nightmare and Brutal. She has to be exactly 121 for Nightmare. So here we are, Ultra Nightmare, Void, Clan Boss. Here's our team. I'll real quick show you the team setup here. Pretty much for everyone, A3 is going to be first priority. The A2 is going to be second priority. For Ninja, for Geo, for Maneater, and for Painkeeper. Better just to set all these priorities and know that they'll choose them in the right time than just kind of pray that the AI is set up right from raid there. Unfortunately, it is not a auto-friendly from the get-go, but it is pretty quick. So we're going to A3 with Maneater, A3 with Painkeeper. Clan Boss takes a turn. A2 with Geomancer. A3 with Ninja. A2 with Maneater. A3 with Zargala. A2 with Painkeeper. Clan Boss goes. A1 with Geomancer. A1 with Maneater. A2 with Ninja. A1 with Painkeeper. And now it is full auto. So pretty simple. And we will see you there at the end of this run. Here we go, coming up on turn 48 here. As you can see, we're still going strong as expected. Putting out close to 40 million damage. We will see here what our totals are in the end. At this particular moment, I don't think it matters too much, but Maneater was landing a few more decreased down or decreased attacks than I would have liked, but 48.85, solid 2-key. Void Clan Boss is probably going to be one of the lowest scoring ones of all the Affinity Clan Boss for this team. Zargala's not putting out much. You know, she almost healed herself more than she did her damage, but that's okay. I mean, as long as you're hitting solid 2-key, unless you can actually push a 1-key, what's the point really of getting more damage there? But Geo's putting out 12 million. So the only thing is, you know, if we can get her decreased defense down, might be able to up that. Geo, about 18.5 million. Most of that is his reflective damage. And then Maneater with 5.5 and Painkeeper with 4.6 million. Both of them in toxic sets. Like I said, I could reduce his crit rate there, so he's not critting and putting up that decreased attack as often. You know, there is RNG, so, but no point unless we're like getting really close to a 1-key, which we are not. So that is Ultra Nightmare Clan Boss, Void Affinity. Have a nice day.